Hello everyone, and welcome to the track guide to the Formula 3 Australia Season 11, Round 5, brought to you by RaceKraft Simulations and powered by FRG, the Formula Racing Group. This week we are travelling to Los Angeles, California to the Auto Club Speedway Roval, where we expect to see plenty of draft battles and some dicey racing in the infield section. Time to jump on board and take a look at a lap. It's a long oval section from the start line into the first braking zone, and the person starting from pole position might find themselves under pressure straight away. Expect a lot of 3-wide action during the race. There's not much of a marker into corner 3, but just before the scoreboard on the right is a good place to start. Try and stay left of the first section to get a good run out on the right-hander. There are many different lines to take through the double apex left. I find running a little deep in the middle section is helpful to get a good run out onto the straight. The back end will want to break traction, so get that nose turned good and early so you can open up the steering wheel on the exit. Braking at the cones on the left, this right-hander tightens up quite a bit at the end. Hug the left while braking and turn in when you sight that apex. Side-by-side action here equals accident, so if you've lost the corner, I suggest slotting in behind and setting yourself up for the final section. Brake just before the stack of bales on the right. I keep it in third for safety and use the curbs a little to turn the car. Just a light application of the brakes and be careful on the throttle on the way out. Keep a tight line through the double apex and flat out to the finish. We're expecting gold split to be in the 1 minute 26s here, but consistency is key on this track to get yourself a good result. A huge thank you to our sponsors from FRG, RaceKraft Simulations, Virtual Racing School, and Lovely Stickers. Get on to Race Stars TV every Tuesday night for the action, and we'll see you on track. Happy racing, everyone.
Welcome race fans to Race Stars TV tonight. We welcome all our special guests, our sponsors, Hannah Montana, because we're at Fontana tonight, California, for a classic NASCAR track, but tonight open wheel action with F3A, powered by Formula Racing Group. Well, the stage is set. Qualifying is almost a run and done for the silver class tonight. Here are the times up on your screen with a minute to go. Greg Favell, the legend from the V8 Supercar V8 Veterans, now finds himself sitting here on provisional pole position by 72 thousandths of a second. So it's going to be close to the front. Mickey, as always, proving why they are at the front of this with a P2 currently with only a minute to go. Like I said, Capone, is sitting third with Roberts. Dave Roberts at his P4 tonight. Kim Walls, Brett Elder, 6th. Damien Cairns, another of the V8 legends, up there in 7th tonight. Bruce Barnes in there too. Greg Seaton. I just saw Jeremy Greentree has just slotted himself up into a top 6 position with only 25 seconds to go. Welcome on, Luke. This is once again F3A on a Tuesday night. Get involved in the chat tonight. Say g'day. And Graham Ellis is there in the chat. So is Keith Logan. Welcome. Apparently your Facebook won't do any stars anymore. Well, apparently we're not star worthy anymore. No idea what's going on with that. But anyway, all good. Let's get set to go down to the grid for race number 1 tonight. We wait for time to tick over here. Greg Favell, like I said, on provisional pole. Looking very good. This is Race Stars TV. So back on the oval track tonight with the infield section, it's going to be interesting. I think a lot of drivers would have had to, just like myself, purchase this track tonight. So they won't have a lot of street time out there. And well, some may say they all are the same. Well, they're not. They've all got their little characteristics. And this looks like a pretty nice infield, actually. It's windy, a little bit twisty, but the transition, obviously from the ground infield section to the banking, looks pretty smooth. We saw an awful transition over at was it Texas or was it earlier than that? I think it was actually our first race. We saw the cars lurch and jump in the air, but tonight looks a little bit smoother. 16 minutes down out of 15 minutes, so the cars that are finishing their laps, Glenn Mason's not going to go quicker. Brent Johnson is also slowed down, so that's it. I think Jeremy Greentree's gone P3. Is he still on a lap here? I'm just having a quick look. No, he's also backed off, as you can see from the sector splits. So it looks like that's it for qualifying. He pulls to a halt as well. So let's get set to go down to the grid for this first race tonight. 2 races, don't forget. We've got the gold coming up later at 9 o'clock, but tonight, powered by FRG, we're going straight to the silver grid, where Greg Favell has taken pole position for his, round 5 of this season. Round 5 already. Round 5, and we are well into it now. So it's Greg Favell, pole position. Mickey Rubach goes P2. Jeremy Greentree sneaks into the top 3. We're going down to the grid. Righto, set to grid up now. It was a bit of a wait there, but here is your starting order confirmed from iRacing. Greg Favell, pole position. Mickey Rubach starts from P2. Then it's Greentree, Capone, Robertson, Walls on the 3rd row. Elder and Cairns round out the 4th row with Barnes, Seaton, Fay and Hanley at top 12. 13th on the grid, Jared Steen. Nice to see him back up there with Casey Atkinson's Herbert and Johansson, the 8th row of the grid. Johnson, Lachlan, Jordanson and Arthur round out the top 20. Then it's Nins. Swanpool's down there with Mason and Johnny Lee. 24th on the grid. 25th tonight goes to Lucas Burt. Sheriffs is down there. Look out. 26th, Lockie Capel in race control. Gallo as well, and Gnomes at the back of this grid. They are lined up, ready to go. Greg Favell. There is a look at him. Let's get rid of the music. Once again, slight banking. Not a huge amount of banking at this place, but still we'll be testing for the cars. If they do initiate some wheel spin off the line, we may see the back end slide down the track. Of course, that can create all sorts of problems. We have got some race cameras tonight as well. As always, a couple of drivers giving us full access to the Race Stars TV cameras. Mickey standing by as well. Just gave us a little wave off camera. We missed it. Mickey, give us another one. Good luck. P2 on the grid. Hasn't gridded up yet. But Mickey just getting into the vibe. Due a win again tonight. Wow, look at the punching. I need a bit of Rocky. Down, 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 down. Righto. Can you tell I've had a couple of beers tonight? I'm ready for this. Look at that Rocky music. Right, we've also got Damien Cairns also on the cams. There is Damien Cairns having a last little bit of water. A little bit of water there, which you need a bit of water. It's going to be a grueling 35-minute race. I can just see in the background there, I can see, we'll just have a listen in, Rue Koistra. There's a little shuckers from Cairns. Rue Koistra just laying down the final race control laws there as we get set to go live. Just looking at
guys, good luck.
P2, Mickey has just formed up on the grid now. Dave Roberts, we're waiting for in P5. Now, the other Dave Roberts, not with me tonight, but a shout out to Dave Roberts, unfortunately, in hospital again tonight. So shout out, Dave, if you're watching. We love you. We missed you. and hopefully you're on the on the mend. As we just see Kim Walls. Now, was that a pit lane start? I just heard Race Control has issued for someone. Now, that's an infringement. We didn't hear why, but we're going to wait and see. Looks like one driver has been relegated to the pits. Okay, so there's a shot. As we zoom back and look at the cars all lined up. Pretty decent grid tonight. More than 26, 27, in fact, competitors. Of course, Lachlan Capel in that Aston Martin safety car, if needed, will be ready to jump out and lead this field around for a couple of yellows. Will we see some yellows tonight? Probably. You would think so. We need permanent Mickey theme music, says Kaylin. We maybe need to work on that, get some theme music. That'd be pretty cool. So the nerves will be rising, no doubt, and it's almost set for a start. So good luck to all our competitors tonight. We wait for the green. Watch the front row get away here. Do they get a good start? There's your green. Good start. Someone got sideways at about row 4. That was Herbert. We've got a spinner. They've lit it up and gone straight up into the fence. Rookie error. And taken about 3 or 4 cars with them, unfortunately. And, that is not what you want to see at the start of a race like this. Big incident. Could be a safety car straight away. Mickey challenging for the lead already. Favell under pressure. And here comes Green Tree as well. We're going to go 3 wide. And, caution. That was Green Tree into the back of Favell and also Mickey. Wow, not good at all. Mickey recovers, gets back out onto the track. We're under full course caution, so the drivers can't overtake right now. But there was definitely a little bit going on there and a bit for us to dissect. So, busy start to the race and full course caution, as you can hear. Rue Coister in race control. There's Joe Capone for RaceKraft out in front. So, wow, let's try and dissect what happened at the start there. I'm sure it was Green Tree into the back of Mickey and Favell. Here's a quick replay of that one. So we'll go to that first. So here it was off the start. Let's jump on board with Green Tree. I think maybe just got the braking zone completely wrong. Into the back of Favell and Mickey. 2 for 1 deal. Took 2 of them out. And unfortunately, that's how that happened. Now on the rejoin here, was there more carnage? There was a little bit more contact. Now who was it that bombed the start? Was it Elder? Someone lit it up off the start. We'll go straight to a replay of that now. And here it is. So I think it was Elder. Yeah, look, got sideways. And watch this secondary phase. Lit up the tyres. Big incident and damage for so many cars. So that's unfortunately for Brett. He'll look back at that and think, oh God, that's a rookie error. Not what you want to do in a race of this caliber. So just watch this again from this angle. Lights up the tyres. Secondary phase. This goes up into the fence and bang, whooshka. And that hit for the RaceKraft car as well. So disappointing when you've spent all the afternoon qualifying and you end up like that in pieces. So Race Control definitely will look at that. They'll hand out the required penalties and we'll go full course caution here with Joe Capone leading this race. And well, let's try and pick out who's who and who's where out of that. I did notice that Mickey's back in 8th place and Favell behind. So 2 of the cars that were leading into turn 1 relegated now back to 8th and 9th place. But the good news is, looks like all 4 corners are still on the car. There's a long shot of Greg Favell. And a shot from this drone camera looks great tonight. You can just see this circuit.
Don't worry about the race order, everyone. If someone's
in all its glory
during the yellow, they will get penalties. So just stay where you are.
So there you go. Capone. Just have a look as the safety car's out there now. There is Joe Capone leading us into the infield section now. And that was Roberts just questioning Race Control. We'll turn that down for a moment. Race Control just questioning them about what happened. I think when that safety car was called, a few drivers maybe jumped the gun. There's the beautiful safety car. How nice is that? And we'll have a quick look at it now in all its glory. Powered by FRG. Don't forget, we've got 2 competitions tonight. One's a competition, one's a great discount. But we've got to thank our title sponsor, of course, RaceKraft Simulations, on board again for this season. Fantastic to have them with us. And then we've got the VRS competition, which tonight's code word has been put up on the stream for all those that want to get involved. It's Hollywood. So go stick that in and join up and go in the running to win that $99 package. Rob Bowden, the last contestant to sign up. Philip as well, Sanders and Olivia Haywood has got their names down. So good job. Keep their names popping in. And definitely worth being a part of. Dave is in the house here and watching Luke, says Dave Roberts. So, mate, we send you our well wishes from everyone here at RaceKraft TV. We want to see you out of hospital and back here in the booth because we've loved having you in the last couple of weeks. Been great. So, chaotic start. Here's a look back from your race leader, Capone. We will turn race control channel back up so we can just hear the call when we're going back to green. And I'll let Root Koistra do a bit of the talking tonight as well. From
So,
that
does that mean I have to observe?
Car 1A, you now have control of the field. You may accelerate at your discretion.
So car 1-8, that is this man, Joe Capone, getting set to
Green.
accelerate away. And as you can hear from Root Koistra, he calls the green and we get back into it. So going into lap 3 of this race and wait for them to come through. They're a fair way away, but here's a shot straight down the wall here at this fantastic track and a good getaway at the front. They have skipped away really well from the rest of the field. Rubok and Greg Favell seem to get a good restart as well because he's right alongside, in fact, in front. Rubok, we're going to go 4 wide here. Watch out, Favell's gone onto the inside, trying to find a way through on Herbert and Seaton. Super close, almost some contact there between them. Now into the braking zone they go, still 3 wide. Favell slips in on the inside and job done. Got to respect those cold tyres at this phase of the race. Dave Roberts now leads, by the way, for Pace Syndicate out in front. So good job. He got a great restart there. Jumped Capone and has now pushed on by over 1.5 seconds. Cairns now jumps into P3. So Damien Cairns having a fantastic run. I know Christine's probably watching out there tonight and well worth jumping on board with him for a little bit now. And just watch the way he's attacking Capone, almost getting through there. You can just see in the distance too, Dave Roberts starting to pull away. It's now 1.7 seconds on the restart lap. You won't want to give him too much of a head start here. And backing out of the throttle, saving some fuel there, Damien Cairns. So obviously the tow, the slipstream, very strong around this place. And he was very patient through that midfield section, just trying to hold off. And maybe that'll help him out later on in the race. Oh, big tank slapper as well. Oh boy, Cairns soaring at the wheel there, and he takes hand off now. It's a shaker, so he's having some fun, but he's driving that thing like the V8 supercar, all out sideways. He needs to try and just hook those rear tyres up and look after them because they've got a long way to go in this 35-minute race tonight. There's your race leader, 1.6 seconds. It's slightly coming down now. Can't see anything out the back though. That's Joe Capone in the distance, that little dot. So what a great restart lap there to pull a 1.6 second lead and head into the infield section again. David Roberts looks much in control. We go back further to this incident. Jordanson is one of the cars and it's Seaton the other one. They've got together down there into the infield. Another incident at turn 1.
Go back, please. Car 19.
Jordanson does not sound happy, so he just says he's been taken out.
Stand by 19.
And we could go to another full course caution here. You can see Seaton is rejoining. I think that's Greg that's just gone around. There's definitely the other car involved in that incident. Got another full course caution. So we'll have a quick look at that. See if we can see what happened. Here's the replay. So the replay of...
Once you call for a tow, mate, stay where you are.
Here it is.
If
Lost the back end and then, probably should have held the brake there, back straight into the other car. Another clumsy incident, unfortunately. So we'll see it from another angle here. Chopper cam, and just watch this. Loses the back end on the brakes. Too much rear bias maybe. And there it is.
Once the safety car gets the
crunch. So full course caution. Let's see if some people are in the pits. I can see Capone's in, Greentree and Lucas Burt have all come into the pits. Your race leader stays out. So we noted last race, wasn't it, that they tried that fuel strategy of running to the end without a stop. Will someone try that again tonight? And how has this affected our top 2 contenders, Favell and Rubok, who are now back into 4th and 5th? So remembering they were taken out at the start of this race, we're now nearly 9 minutes in. And we might go over and have a quick talk to the RaceKraft guys. I know they're hanging out together, and I'm going to jump in while it's a full course caution to say good day to our good friend Christopher Mitchell. How are you tonight, mate?
Oh, it's going to be an interesting one.
Driven at this track before?
Only in pre-quali, which is very limited, and I was very frustrating. I think my lamented terms at the end of last night trying to bust out a fast time was something along the line of F this track, F this setup, F my life, I'm going to bed.
Now, we got Johnny Herbert with you tonight. I mean, Jensen Herbert. How's he going?
Jensen's very, very new. I don't even know if is he in VC in here?
No, I don't think he is, actually.
Jensen's very new. He's the apprentice at RaceKraft.
Okay.
And, he had to actually get his license up to a certain spec before he was allowed to race in the season because he just didn't have an iRacing account. So it's been a few weeks since we've finally been able to put him to good use, but we'll see what it can turn out.
Well, we do have a good crew in there. Andrew's there. Is he in here as well? Andrew, are you there?
Finally.
No, he's not. So we've got... Who is there? Kieran's there.
Yes.
Hello, mate. How are you?
I've been really sick actually this last couple of days. I almost didn't qualify. I've been so crook.
That's not good. What do you got, mate? Diarrhea?
No, thankfully not. I've just been coughing my lungs out.
Okay.
Well, this time he was legitimately sick. Usually he's just really hungover.
Yeah, right.
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, whoa.
Now,
Okay, everyone on the lead lap, I need you to
how's
stay
it feeling out on the
left.
track
Everyone
tonight,
lead lap,
boys?
Please stay left.
Haley.
It feels better than pre-quali was. So, like, pre-quali, I was just saying this car feels like an absolute bucket
Lap
of bolts,
traffic may
but
now unlap themselves on
that's
the right.
put it nicely.
Lap traffic
But
may
it
now
feels
unlap
better.
themselves on the
It's
right.
just, although I'm really slow, so we'll see what we can turn on for qualifying in the race.
And yeah, I mean, I had to buy the traction. I've never seen it before. Obviously, it's an old NASCAR track, but it used to do open wheelers before that as well, I think.
Yeah, and the track is still active actually in Fontana, in California.
California, yeah.
Had the pleasure of actually being at this track. I've been to this track personally. Although I was only in the car park because I was attending the RC World Championships that are held on the same premises.
There you
Is
go.
the car park.
Oh, speaking
Okay.
of a car park, round I go.
So yeah, no, it's well, it looks pretty good out there. The weather conditions are good. The car's hooked up. It's that usual thing of, you know, being a bit cautious the first few laps. But I don't know if you're watching the silver. There was another big dust up into turn one. You're gonna have to try and avoid that tonight.
Yeah, that's going to be critical. Another track where you've got the really high speed turn 1 and 2, and then a big dive on the brakes into a hairpin immediately following seems to be pretty standard for these kinds of roval tracks. And the big kicker here is going to be managing the rear end
Yeah.
and managing the white line fever, because there's a lot of track limits that are defined by cones, but when someone wipes out the cones, you can't as easily see where that white line is.
Yep.
And 2 tires over the white line, and it's a 2-second slowdown.
Yeah. I remember when I first started iRacing and they had the cones for the braking markers, 4 cones for 400 feet and so on. First race I ever did, someone took out all the cones at the first corner and I was like, where's the braking markers?
It's time to go bowling with Luke after that.
That's it. Well, we'll let you go and concentrate. We'll let, speaking about looking after your rear end, we'll let Kieran go as well. Hope you feel better soon, Kieran.
Yes, thank you.
We'll chat to you guys later, that's for sure.
You're a legend, Luke.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers, Luke.
Cheers. RaceKraft hanging out there and getting set. Obviously, they got some guys in the main game for the Gold Series later as well, but they're also hanging there with their competitors in silver, of course. Mickey giving us a wave there off camera. We'll try and get another wave on camera. And vibed up back into 5th place after that start. On the waters, good to see. Lucky I haven't got a camera in the comm booth here because I'm on the beers tonight. On the beers. It's Dave Roberts leading up 4 spots. The biggest mover up there, and we haven't spoken about at all, is this man, Neil McVeigh. Up 9 spots. 9 spots at the start to get up into P2 at the moment. Pretty plain Jane livery. We're back to green flag by the sounds of it. There's the restart. And we do get racing. So Dave Roberts leads us away again. And McVeigh in tow. Then Cairns and Favell. Watch Favell to work with his teammate here, Taipan Esports 3 and 4. I wonder how long Favell will stay behind Damien Cairns. Now, generally, Greg will take the pecking order in the V8 supercars, but here in the F3, it's pretty new to both of them, I think. And Cairns holding his own. Good to see this. P3. They're both now on the back of McVeigh. Once again, fantastic jump away from Dave Roberts into the braking zone. Mickey down the inside with a big move and holds into P2. Sorry, P3. The Taipan guys almost getting tangled in behind. Nin's also on the move up 12 spots as well. So is Swampole up now into 11th place, and Pat Gallo up 16 spots into the top 12. Good job by the Mark 1 Esport driver, the 777. Capone, who was leading earlier, has dropped all the way back to 13th, but crucially has made a stop, taken fuel, and could go to the end of this race. Alex Zanny says, Chris is so sexy. He's a sexy man. Big shout out to all the RaceKraft guys. And, well, here we go. Roberts checked out again, 1.6 seconds. This is the battle for second. McVeigh, we're going to jump on board now with Roebuck for a moment. They're currently in P3. Oh, the braking, that was late on the brakes. Almost has a Taipan car behind as well. But that was super well controlled in the end by Mickey. Now we go, watch this entry back onto the oval, and then it's all about slipstream. If you're in a go-kart, you would duck your head down now and try and crash down, make yourself as small as possible. Over the line, new fastest lap for Dave Roberts, and that's not bad considering he's the lead car. Pulls a 1.7, 1.8 second margin now. Look beside us, here comes Greg Favell. Super close here between Rubok and Favell as they go side by side around the banking, now into the braking zone. It's going to be Favell around the outside trying to make the move stick, and they almost come together there. That was incredibly close between them. We're on board with Greg Favell now, and that was a decent overtake there. Looks like we're watching an old ABC static on the mirror there. 20-second penalty for Jeremy Greenchief for that incident lap 1, turn 1. So it's not bad really considering. I thought it would have been more than that. Greentree probably thank his lucky stars as Favell so deep on the brakes there. Once again, Mickey holds on for dear life as I thought for a second it was going to be Favell into the rear. But McVeigh as well, still P2. Driving so well out there, but no one can catch Roberts. That gap now 2.6 seconds. Remember, the top three automatically qualify up into the gold split for next week. But there is Roberts. See you later, Alligator, who says the Pace Syndicate driver is driving off into the distance. Kim Walls, currently 15th place. We had Marigold Bartlett say shout out to Kim Walls for their climb as well. Tell us a little bit more about that so I can tell the viewers what's about the climb. I can see the profile picture there for Kim. Looks like it's up a mountain somewhere. I'd love to know a bit more about that, as Kim now is challenged by Capone. Back to the front for Favell, still going neck and neck with Mickey into the braking zone. Mickey hangs on once again. Oh no, spin for Mickey. Goes around, unfortunately. Got to keep it out of the barrier there, just keeps it out of the fence. And rejoins, didn't lose too many positions, lost about, well, down to 13th place. Could have been a lot worse, but so much pressure and the back end just got away so quickly there. Good recovery in the end. It was a quick transition of being backwards in the fence to going back straight onto the racetrack and getting into the thick of things. So decent, that could have been a lot worse. Been told to check out the safety car coming in to the pit lane, so let's have a quick look at that. This could be gold. Always love a bit of safety car action. This is coming into the pits. Lockie Capel, we'll give him a shout out. Absolute legend, but he races away from the field, gets the big old drift on, and the FRG safety car goes backwards, leaves a couple of 11s on the road, then he bugs out back to the pit lane. Nice job. Thanks, Roo, for the heads up on that one as we go back live with a race leader now 3.3 out in front. Let's jump back to Greentree, who's got that 20-second penalty hanging over his head. Looked really fast in qualifying, made that big error at turn 1. Now has to try and find his way back into this. Now a little battle going on here. And teammate in front, competitor alongside, trying to get a tro, trying to find their way through. And Mark 1 Esports with Pat Gallo just up the road as well. We've got Swampole and a sandwich there, and they get through. Nice job. So that's where Mickey just lost it there. So easy to get on the gas and spin the car around, as you see Kim Walls in the background just doing exactly what I described. Ben Arthur 17th place with Lucas Burt then next in line, starting to spread out a little bit. To be expected, I guess, at a track where they haven't spent a lot of time. There is Jared Steen. Great to see him here. I first came across Jared doing some dirt Speedway a couple of years ago now. Feels like forever ago that I started this bloody Race Stars TV. It was 629 nights ago we started in the last 3 years. But yeah, this man was a legend in a dirt speedway car, and now he's being very competitive in a Formula 3, currently P7. And another good battle, this one, between Johnson, that's Brant Johnson, and Mickey Roebuck, trying to get back up into the top 10. Jason says, I think we need a safety car highlights package at the end of the season. There will be a few good moments, I reckon, that's for sure. Righto, so we'll check in. I'm monitoring the chat slightly when I can, so hello to everyone watching. We are live from Fontana tonight. Another Roval as they go 3 wide. Mickey around the outside. Let's jump on board. Roebuck needs to be careful here to not get involved in someone else's incident. It's so easy to do, especially when cars are getting sideways in front of you. And this is the onboard shot. In fact, let's go to a little bit of visor cam. We haven't done much visor cam lately. Let's jump on board with Roebuck and into the helmet. Enjoy. So good racing action. Wasn't the interesting to watch how little throttle through that midfield section. Having to back out and make sure the car doesn't spin out sideways, and under pressure here from Brant Johnson as well. This is side-by-side action again, now into the infield. And I love this long shot. You can hear the crowd in the background. It just goes to show the distance. Well, we've lost that camera angle, so we'll jump back to Capone, who's currently sitting in 14th place. And behind them, Swampole continues to move forward, now up 6 spots onto the back of Ben Arthur, who is another competitor here. The ICT Marketing Race on Oscar, the bright pink. Challenging. Now, checking in with Damien Cairns as well. There's Cairns, still P5. Has been challenged by his teammate a fair bit tonight, and the teammate now, Favell, up into P2 again. So pushing towards the front. McVeigh's dropped back slightly, and Herbert, the RaceKraft newbie, is currently sitting in P3, up 12 positions. All of the top 8 drivers are yet to stop. Stephen Templeton says, less brake, more overtake. I like that. And there is Cairns having a little bit of a chance to relax on the embankment here, and I guess you can put one arm down, have a rest, grab a drink if you need to, and 2 hands back on the wheel for the infield section when you want to really make sure you don't make any mistakes. So 22.5 minutes gone. We're almost now 2/3 race distance. It's really been flown along. And Dave Roberts still a 4.7 second lead. Looks untouchable at the front. We got a crash. It's it's Green Tree again. Now off the track. There was a couple of cars back there. Watch out, Green Tree keeps to the right as Mickey goes through underneath into 9th place now. And they keep it nice and tidy here. The Mark 1 esports driver already has that 20-second time penalty hanging over their head, which at this stage would drop them out of the top 25. When all is said and done, that will be a post-race penalty. 6th gear beer on this track, Luke. I like that, Keith. A 6th gear beer. Very good. Casey Atkinson currently for Pace Syndicate, P14 as well. Love these Pace Syndicate. I say it every week, but how cool is Pace Syndicate liveries? They're fantastic. Nice little detail. They're almost into the back of Swampole again. But Pat Gallo will be the next driver under attack from Mickey. Let's have a look on board, looking back at the speed of this circuit. Sun poking through the clouds. We haven't talked about the weather yet tonight. The weather here is 22 degrees, track temp 18 ambient. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it's getting later. I wonder if Gold will almost see the lights come on. We'll have to wait and see. It is a circuit that can be lit at night, so we'll wait and see what happens a bit later on. Void says Schmallenberg for platinum or whatever is above gold. Oh, platinum, eh? Schmallenberg for gold. No, Schmallenberg for platinum. I like that. Jason says, hang on, it's Mickey's finger wagging better than Alonso's. Ben Arthur here too, under pressure with Joe Capone in front, who has stopped. Let's have a quick look at that pit strategy, because if we don't get another safety car, I reckon everyone else is going to have to come in for a pit stop now. Out of the top 10, only one of those drivers has stopped, and that's Greentree, with that penalty hanging over his head. So behind him though, Joe Capone, P12, there's Joey, stopped on lap 4, took 5 seconds worth of fuel. In a pretty good position, you would think, if everyone in front has to stop. The spread, or the field spread at the moment, it's on 20 seconds, which Roberts would definitely lose that amount of time in the pits with just on 10 minutes to go. So there could be a little bit of a twist left in this race tonight, even though it's starting to spread out a bit. Don't go anywhere. This could get exciting. Favell chasing down Roberts, and in fact took a bit of time out of him in the last lap. If we look at the onboard, 1.2 seconds it was on the last lap that Favell took out of your race leader, David Roberts. So we could still see, that would be striking distance in 3 laps. We could see a fight on shortly. They're currently lapping 1 minute 29. Their best lap times are 1:27. So it's, there's a lot to be had here still. Come on, Capone, says Alex Annie. We got Joey now 11th place. Ahead now, Ben Arthur. Gavin Nins will be the next up the road for Joey. But like I said, his strategy looking pretty good at the moment. Greentree, obviously the lead car that has stopped, but penalty hanging over their head. That's not good. Ben Johansson, another of the RaceKraft cars, 17th place at the moment. The red wheels on that one, even though his RaceKraft simulation's blue. Need some blue wheels on there, Ben, to match the name. Great looking livery, isn't it, the RaceKraft? Of course, a major sponsor for this series. Big thanks to them. Big thanks also to Lovely Stickers. Make sure you go and check the Lovely Stickers out. There is a code word. There they are. How cool are they? You can get 10% off. We'll tell you a little bit more about that later. 10% off those stickers by using the F3A code word. When in doubt, rev it out. We're getting all the slogans tonight. I like it. Kim Walls and Elder battling back in 18th place, but we'll go back towards the front again. This is where Favell is. The gap's staying around 3 seconds. It hasn't come down anymore, so I wonder if that was just a little bit of a mistake from Roberts, which saw that lap previously lose that 1.2 seconds. Seems to normalise now. Both drivers doing a 1:28.8 and a 1:28.6 over the line last time around. Jensen Herbert in P3 was actually the quickest of all of them, nearly 6/10 quicker and 8/10 quicker than your race leader on the last lap for Herbert. So could he still mount a challenge here for second or even first place?
You mean 2-4? I've got you 2-4.
Sorry, car turn into first 3.
It's your own number.
So there's a tight battle here between Ben Arthur and Ty Swampool, though. Just went side by side. They're almost matching liveries, those two. Not a lot of signage on the cars. And Brant Johansson just in front of them, one of the Sandgroper sim racing cars, actually behind his teammate. 2 Sandgroper cars now inside the top 10. And driving very nicely as we hit the 28.5 minute mark, so only 6.5 to go. Lap 17, this man leading and has been so dominant. We should spend a bit of time with Dave Roberts because he's, well, I was going to say he's got this one in the bag, but just looking at that time now, it's come down again by a second, or at least 6-7 tenths of a second. It's come down now to a 2.4 second margin Now, how much fuel savings going on, be it that these guys have not stopped. We've had 2 safety cars, or 3 is it? So they're going to try and eke this out without a fuel stop. It's possible, but it's going to be nerve-wracking for these drivers now. They'd have their IR pit crew open, they'd have their telemetry telling them how much they need to lift and coast to be able to make it home. No doubt they're in the red, and they're just trying to sneak it there without running out on the last lap, and it could be a drag race to the checker flag, which would mean it's well, you want to have as much fuel as you can in the car. Dave Roberts' car looks like RC from Toy Story. I've got to have a look at what RC from Toy Story is. Let's have a look. Do a quick Google here.
1-0, you've received
It does look a little bit like that. Let me get that full screen so I can show everyone what we're talking about here. Although that didn't work. Watch me get a copyright strike for showing this. I'm good at getting myself in trouble. So this is RC from Toy Story. There you go. Yeah, a bit of a resemblance there, slightly. Good to have you guys being part of the action again tonight. Wouldn't be the same if we didn't have viewers. What would be the point of doing it? That's for sure, and these drivers do appreciate you making the comments. They watch them back later, and all the YouTube ones, those comments come back live for the drivers to view, so don't forget about that. Daniel Yeaman in the house says, almost time to get out there for some final practice now that I've eaten dinner before racing for a change. See you in F3A Gold. Great to have you here, Daniel. And good luck tonight. Gee, he was dominant the other week. Can he do it again? The voice of SimSpeed. He's an absolute legend, and yeah, we look forward to speaking to him. I'm going to say on the podium again tonight. I'm going to, hopefully don't jinx him, but I know he doesn't get a lot of time to practice, but he'll be out there for sure and cracking towards a win tonight. Now, Roberts is in the lane, is he? He is. So here we go. They're going to have to make a stop. This is where I'm predicting Joe Capone is going to come to his own here. In fact, who else is up there? Jeremy Greentree, like I said, has that unfortunate penalty hanging over his head. Brant Johnson took a stop on lap 4 as well. He could go to the lead of this race. Just seeing where he is now. He's just about to come back onto the banking now. Where is Dave Roberts? He's still stationary, still trundling down the pit lane at slow speed. Now he'll get off the limiter. I think now, is that the line? No, it's not. He's still got a long way to go. And I can tell you now that Greentree's gone through. So has Brant. In fact, he's not even at his box yet. He's only just got to the box, so that's a mega amount of time lost. Under green flag conditions, Roberts comes out in 10th place. Can you believe? And the leader that has actually made a stop is this guy, Jeremy Greentree. Now he's got himself a gap. I'm just looking back to Brant Johnson. The gap at the moment to Johnson around 8 seconds. Not enough at the moment with a 20-second deficit for that penalty. He will drop down out of the top 10. But that puts this man, Brant Johnson, in the box seat for Grant Sandgroper, I should say, Sim Racing. He stopped on lap 4, took 3 seconds worth of fuel. Was that enough? I'm just looking how much fuel Roberts took on board, 3.6, so it's going to be touch and go. But yeah, I like the little twist at the end here. We'll probably get 2 more laps in after this one. Just looking at the time now, 32:40. So the late splash and dash. Surely Pat Gallo, who's leading this race, is going to be in the lane. He is. So Gallo's in. Nins will have to come in as well. Yeah, Nins is in the pits too. So Brant Johnson will go into the lead of this race technically, because Greentree, with a penalty hanging over their head, will have this win taken off them at the end. Wow. So Brant for Sandgroper Sim Racing on track for a first victory. We will get 2 more laps. This will be the penultimate lap with just under 2 minutes to go. It's about a 1:29 flying lap at the moment for Brant. And whilst Greentree is probably going to take the flag, this man's going to be awarded the win. Ben Arthur moves up into P2, but is not far behind, 7 tenths behind. We could still see a challenge, and I got to say, Ben Arthur, who stopped on lap 5 during that safety car period, took 14 seconds worth of fuel. So if Brant has any sort of fuel drama here, Ben Arthur will not. He will be absolutely full throttle now to the end of this one. So good racing. As Marigold says, very, very dynamic. It's been ups and downs and some strategy involved as well. how many of these drivers, like Dave Roberts, for example, Greg Favell, how many of those drivers will be kicking themselves that they didn't stop under the full course caution because they lost well over 20, 30 seconds. Oh, there's a crash in the background as well. Is that John Lee's backwards? There's another car smashed into pieces. I'm trying to work out who that was. Steen's got damage. I think Jared Steen's missing the front splitter. Yeah, that it's actually gone under the car, so front wing tucked underneath the car for Steen. There was a big incident somewhere there.
Did you really have
And wow, Arthur's in the lane. So Ben Arthur's in the lane.
After the green, no. After the blue, yes.
And Green Tree goes around to start what will be the final lap. Johnson in tow, 7.2 seconds behind. So with a 20-second penalty, that'll drop the race leader Green Tree at this stage down to 6th position. It'll elevate Johnson up into the lead. Seaton P2 and Andrew Lachlan will get a 3rd at this stage. So great drive, good strategy. They've all had to pit now. Arthur and Walls both in the lane on this final lap. Green Tree will be ruining that mistake, that run into turn 1 into the back of Favell, which will ultimately cost Jeremy a race win tonight. Through the midfield part now, Neil McVeigh still fighting with Lucas Burt in the background as well. These two have had a good old ding-dong throughout this race. Herbert's off the track. Now where's Herbert? It's gone off into the grass. Lost the position to Damien Cairns, but we'll go back to this guy, Jeremy Greentree. We're going to watch him take the flag, but like I say, it's going to be a short-lived celebration as straight away he'll be marched up to the stewards and asked to explain what happened turn 1 lap 1, but take nothing away, there's still been good racing. He'll be, like I said, looking back at this race and thinking, wow, if only it wasn't for that mistake. But put your hands together for Brant Johnson. As far as I know and I'm concerned, he has won this race, P2, but takes the win. Congratulations. P3, Greg Seaton crosses the line. Fantastic drive. And Lachlan will come across the line, P4 as well, ahead of Capone. So they'll all be elevated up 1, and looking at those times, it will be P5 for Green Tree. So Brant Johnson will take the win tonight. We'll wait and hear if race control let him know that. Let's see if we see some celebrating, because that was incredible. Good racing. We'll come up with the results and we'll have a chat to these drivers as well.
That was fun.
Just prior to heading across to the gold server. Don't go anywhere. You're on RaceStars TV for F3A, powered by FRG. Brant Johnson, your winner.
I don't think I've got enough fuel to get back.
Race results coming up on the screen right now for you. Thanks to iRacing, and it was a win to, well, Green Tree, it says there by 7.5 seconds, but that will be demoted down the list. Brant Johnson will take the win from Greg Seaton and Andrew Lachlan. Your top 3, we're just standing by for them to join me in the comm booth now. Let's hope they're on their way over and we can have a quick chat about that one before we then, like I said, go across and load up that gold server, because I'm looking forward to seeing what the gold can do now in the 50-minute race that they're going to have upon them shortly. But let's grab them in for a quick chat. And congratulations, Brant. As far as I'm concerned, you've been elevated to the win. Is that correct? And well done.
Yeah, unfortunately for Jeremy, he got a 20-second penalty early on, and I wasn't sure if it was him or not when I was coming through the last few laps. I was already trying to fuel save as it was, and unfortunately for Jeremy, I get the win. It's good. It's awesome. First one.
Fantastic. And obviously the strategy for you tonight was to stop on lap 4 at that first safety car. Took 3.9 seconds worth of fuel, and didn't that pay dividends?
Yeah, I was tossing up with my teammate. He stayed out, and I was at the back of the pack because of a shit spin, and took the gamble. I come back with about half a lap, went over the line. If it was one more lap, I was buggered.
Nah, fantastic job. P2 was Greg. You've been elevated up there, mate. Congratulations for a second tonight. You there, Greggy boy? Maybe he's got push to talk. Let's see if we can get him to chat. Just seen his mic mute. Are you there, buddy? We'll move on to Andrew. We'll come back to you, Greg. But Andrew, congratulations, mate. Elevated up to P3.
Yeah, thanks, Luke. That was a big surprise, actually. Got to do some burnouts for the first time.
Good racing out there, mate. It was a different track coming here for the first time. How did you find it?
Yeah, really good, actually. Really clean out there. A couple of spinners early, but the tyres got a bit greasy towards the end there, so it was a bit tricky managing it through the S's and at turn 1.
And flying the flag, of course, for RaceKraft. It's good to see a result for them as well.
Yeah, had a good result. Good team tonight, although Johnny was out of the top 20, which is no surprise, but that's okay.
And Greg, have we got you now? Still no Greg. So we'll go through some thank yous, starting off with our race winner tonight, Brant, mate. Congratulations. Who would you like to thank?
Just the crew at Sandgroper Sim Racing. They took me in literally on round 2 and helped me along and guided me, showed me the ropes, so to speak. It's been awesome. So thanks to Gavin and the boys there.
No, fantastic drive. And
no sponsors, mate. I'm not high enough up the food chain.
We'll get some on there. Great looking car. I love the livery. It's is that one of the generics?
That's our Sandgroper Sim Racing livery that we've put together just for this season.
Looks fantastic. I like it. Very good. And the burnouts were great too. So well done, mate. And who would you like to thank? Greg, have we got you yet? Who would you like to thank, mate, for P2? No, still no luck. So we've got no Greg. But we'll go, Andrew, who would you like to thank, mate? P3.
Yeah, you see, John at RaceKraft, mate. You know, I know we say it every week, but he really does a good job for the series and also the sport. So big shout out to John and the crew at RaceKraft down there. Obviously yourself, Luke, Rue, and all the team behind the scenes putting this show together. So appreciate that.
No worries, mate. And yeah, Greg just said he's got some mic trouble, I think. So we'll do a shout out for him, P2 tonight. He must be happy with that, up 7 spots. In fact, 8 if you count the Jeremy's demotion. So congratulations, Greg, on P2. But thanks to our top 3, Brant, Greg, and Andrew. We'll see you next week in gold.
Cheers, Luke.
Cheers, boys. Righto, we've got to set ourselves up now over for the gold service. So give me a minute or so to go hook that up. I'll be back with you shortly. We'll just run that track guide again for those that missed it earlier on.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the track guide to the Formula 3 Australia Season 11, Round 5, brought to you by RaceKraft Simulations and powered by FRG, the Formula Racing Group. This week we are travelling to Los Angeles, California to the Auto Club Speedway Roval, where we expect to see plenty of draft battles and some dicey racing in the infield section. Time to jump on board and take a look at a lap. It's a long oval section from the start line into the first braking zone, and the person starting from pole position might find themselves under pressure straight away. Expect a lot of 3-wide action during the race. There's not much of a marker into corner 3, but just before the scoreboard on the right is a good place to start. Try and stay left in the first section to get a good run out on the right-hander. There are many different lines to take through the double apex left. I find running a little deep in the middle section is helpful to get a good run out onto the straight. The back end will want to break traction, so get that nose turned good and early so you can open up the steering wheel on the exit. Braking at the cones on the left, this right-hander tightens up quite a bit at the end. Hug the left while braking and turn in when you sight that apex. Side-by-side action here equals accident, so if you've lost the corner, I suggest slotting in behind and setting yourself up for the final section. Brake just before the stack of bales on the right. I keep it in third for safety and use the curbs a little to turn the car. Just a light application of the brakes and be careful on the throttle on the way out. Keep a tight line through the double apex and flat out to the finish. We're expecting Gold Split to be in the 1 minute 26s here, but consistency is key on this track to get yourself a good result. A huge thank you to our sponsors from FRG, RaceKraft Simulations, Virtual Racing School, and Lovely Stickers. Get on to Race Stars TV every Tuesday night for the action, and we'll see you on track. Happy racing, everyone.
Right, we're back. Let's get set for the goal now as guys are just out there doing their qualifying laps, and I can tell you our paints are just loading in as well. So just hanging about for that now, and as that happens I can see Benjamin Roberts has currently set the top time there, 1:27 flat, ahead of Rob Bowden and Jack Murray at top three at this stage with just on 2.5 minutes to go in qualifying, so they'll get their laps in. We'll throw it over into quali mode so you can see the sector times down the bottom. Christian Hermanson currently on a good lap, goes yellow final sector though. Kieran Ellis, Justin Quinn and Tiago all on green sector laps, so putting them together at the last stage, it's good to see. Welcome back everyone who's tuning in tonight. Say good day on the chat if you're here and getting set for the gold. We're going to turn down the music, turn up the cars, and we love our F3 action here. A lot of cars on outlaps too to have one more crack at this. I'll try and steal a late toe just to get that little bit of extra push as well. Will Ryan currently sitting in 18th place for Pace Syndicate. Who else is out there still to perform? Reese O'Gorman currently sitting down in 22nd. I expected him to do maybe an extra quick lap here in the late stages. Who else is maybe on a lap? Christopher Mitchell currently sits 12th place. Now it's definitely darker for this session. We're at 5:13 local time, 19 degrees track temp, so the track temp has dropped slightly for the Gold Server tonight. They will have the 50-minute race. Will safety cars play into this one as well like they did Silver? We will definitely see a pit stop though for these drivers. They've just got to try and get that right. Loving Christopher Mitchell's livery here. That looks fantastic with his helmet bright as well, shining here in the dusk evening. This fantastic racetrack. We'll go over and have a quick look at the RaceKraft web cameras. We've got Christopher Mitchell there going for a bit of a spin, spinning around and around. We won't interrupt them until later on tonight, but he regathers and continues on his way. So Roberts it is, provisional pole position. Having a look now, I don't think he's on a quicker lap, so he's not going to improve And I'm seeing a lot of yellow out there. Obviously green means personal best. No purples showing up, which would be a faster than anyone. Daniel Yeaman, 34th place. So he's left his run very late tonight. There he is for Drop Bear Motorsport. Can he get across the line and elevate himself out of 35th now? He does. Where does he end up? P11. So Yeaman, at the last moment there, just slots into the, 6th row of the grid. Out of 11. Can he get one more lap in here? They can finish the lap they're on. And what has he got up the road? Has he got a car that he could just sneak a bit of a toe off? I'm not sure that he does. We'll keep an eye on his sector times. Jesse Butler's going quicker, so is Brian Cooper. Both setting some pretty quality sector times in these late stages. But it's going to be on. The RaceKraft boys standing by. You can see them. Kieran Ellis just looking at his phone, checking his messages. Christopher Mitchell still qualifying out there, trying to go faster. O'Shea's gone off the racetrack. That's going to be the end of that run, unfortunately, for Dylan O'Shea. Roberts hasn't improved. I'm just having a look. Did that impede Yeaman at all? I don't think it did. But the sector times haven't popped up for me yet. I'm not sure he's going quicker. Tiago goes P6. Tiago crosses the line with a great time there. Guy Leach back in here tonight as well. P8 for Leach, veteran of iRacing. And a new quicker time there for Ben Roberts. So he did go quicker, a 1 minute 26.9. He's absolutely driven the pants off that last lap. Yeaman has gone green. Where will he go? He takes the shortest route to the line. Crosses now. Daniel Yeaman from 13th place, elevated to P4, so second row of the grid. Daniel Yeaman. And leaves it to the last minute. He'll be pretty happy with that, I reckon. Daniel, so good job. Roberts stops on the side of the road. And we are set to get racing here shortly for F3A Gold. The big one tonight, live from this fantastic racetrack. Let's head down and get set for a grid. So as we saw in silver tonight, it's so important to get off the line well. We don't want to see what we saw with that big slip and slide and taking 3 or 4 competitors with him off the start line. We want to try and get everyone away cleanly down towards turn 1. It's going to take a lot of concentration from a lot of drivers. This field of nearly 40 cars, in fact it is 40 cars with Lachlan Capel in the safety car at the rear of field. Well, it's a huge field of cars to go breaking down into turn 1 after what is a long run to the line as well for Roval. Usually it's a short run into the line, but hey, that's not how we do it here in Fontana. There's Roberts, who will start off pole position tonight. Rob Bowden starts out of P2, and it'll be Maran Yeaman off the second row. O'Shea starts out of 5th place. Sinisi out of 6th, and it's Tiago M with Chris Wazell out of P8. Macedo, I should say. Leach and Jewell, then it's Evans and Butler, your top 12, 13th on the grid. Tyson Broad with Millington, then it's Mitchell and Leonard down in 16th place. Anspach and Camilleri 18th. Wooten and Kaniska, your top 20. Ryan, Hermanson, Gardner and Mabry, the top 24 on the grid. 25th goes to Blackburn. Tyler out of 25th with Leaf Hardy alongside him. O'Gorman and Barton start from 28th. Arthur and Barnes, your top 30. Court and Trill down in 32nd place with Cooper and Newton, the top 34. Clayton and McLaughlin 36th on the grid. As we go to the last page, 37th will be Nikoloff. Breyer down there with Ellis and Quinn. Lockie Capel at the back, hopefully not needed too soon. He will be the man in the safety car if required. Let's get set to racing for F3A tonight. And this is powered by FRG. We are RaceStars TV. My name's Luke. We've got Zupreme TV saying, let's go Tank SRT and Itty Bitty Kitty over on Twitch as well. Good to see some Twitch people tuning in and saying g'day. All right, let's crank up the sound of these cars. We're still waiting for Bowden, Mara, O'Shea and Sinisi to join us on the grid. Our pole sitter Benjamin Roberts is there and he's raring to go. So the car looks good, and there is a man who has set the fastest time we've seen tonight with a 1 minute 26 qualifying time. That is pretty decent, isn't it? But big field of cars. There's a look from the back of the grid. And look at them all lining up as Ruud Koistri in race control gives his final words to all the drivers and says, look, behave yourselves. It's a big run to turn 1. We don't want to see incidents. About 50 seconds to go here before we get underway. I can see the RaceKraft guys doing their final little bit of preparation. And this will be a mega run. Okay, they're all on the grid, ready to go. We'll crank up the sound, listen to them get away here. It'll be Roberts and Bowden off that front row. Watch for Yeaman. I'm going to put a little quiet bet in here that he might be closer to P1 or 2 by the time we get through turn 1. He should get a pretty good slipstream all the way down to 1 off the back of this start, and especially if Roberts gets away well and he can sneak across into his slipstream, well, he could be in good positions. And I think with Rob Bowden as well, he has been a super fast starter over previous weeks. We're just on the 3-minute mark now, ready to go racing. As my dog wakes up beside me. Oh, I was a bit too loud then. Sorry, Buey. He's a good little fella. As we'll be on 3 minutes now, so it's a long hold. On the grid, 50 minutes to go. 1 pit stop required. Let's go racing here for F3A Gold. Round number 5 from Fontana. And we get away well this time. No wheel spin, no big mistakes to read about. Oh, there is connection in the mid-pack there. It was around Guy Leach, somewhere in there. Cars made contact. They're 3 or 4 wide. The background, Roberts got the perfect getaway at the front. Mara, upper position. Bowden dropped back. There is contact behind as they continue to go 3 wide. And wow, this is really, really tight into the first braking zone now. I can hear locking of tyres side by side. We've got a spinner to the infield. Good evasive action there from the Simrigs car. Did well to get around that spinning car through turn 2, but Roberts the perfect getaway. Bowden going where do we here with Jack Mara and getting sideways. The tyres still cold. He needs to give them time just to come in on song. Christopher Mitchell's involved in something, I think. I can see him. Is that broken suspension for Mitchell? It is. He must be absolutely devastated with that. After all that hard work for practice, he'll have to limp this back to the pits, and we'll try and listen in to see if we... Oh, big contact as well on board with Mitchell. You can see the remnants of 2 cars going off to the infield. That's a huge incident. That will be a safety car, and that might help Mitchell limp back to the pits and get back into this if we get a caution here right at the start. So safety car is out on the road, and full course caution. We've got a lot to dissect from the opening part of this this race. That's huge. So
And car 27 lap 1.
there's quite a few cars calling in as well for race control to have a look at some of the incidents. So let's run back to the start. We'll look at Adam Gardner first. I think he was the first indicator of an incident. Here it is off the start, replay. So trying to dissect what's gone wrong here. Someone got sideways, and then there was contact under brakes. And you can see plenty of cars involved in that one. And there was a melee as they try and then clear things away. Alex Court, I think, also involved in that one. Let's have a quick look at Court. So we'll jump on board with him. Oh, so he went really late on the brakes down the inside. Got tagged as he went through the middle. And from then on in, it was just a big impact. Now, after that, was there a secondary crash? I'm trying to find where Mitchell gathered his damage, because it was further around the racetrack, I think, and there must have been 7 or 8 cars making contact prior to Mitchell's incident, and I'm going to try and find it for you. Or did it happen right at the start there? So there was one a bit later with Reese O'Gorman involved in this one. Let's have a quick look at that. This was him already damaged. So race control is going to have their work cut out for them here to try and work out where all these incidents happen. We'll try and find this earlier one with Reese O'Gorman. Was this... okay, so that was earlier on. Let's see where Christopher Mitchell is in all that. Did he have broken... No, there it is there. So that's Mitchell's contact later on with one of the other cars. So plenty of damage for him. That was a clumsy little incident, which has given him stacks of damage, unfortunately. So disappointing. We'll go back to live though as we get set to go back to green. You can hear race control in the background. Rue Koistra. Wow, that was a big secondary impact there as well. Rue Koistra getting ready to tell the field to get back to green and get back to racing. So I can tell you, a lot of cars stopped there from 27th down. They have all made a pit stop. Benjamin Roberts has control of the field here as he gets set to go again. And well, I thought we were going to get through the first lap of this race without contact, being that these are the best of the best, but nope, big incidents. So Roberts under control of the speed. So listen.
Speed, you may accelerate at your discretion.
So will Roberts want to jump away here or just hold them back slightly? Be that it is such a long toe.
Green.
He's gone, so he's now jumped on the throttle, on the loud pedal, and he gets away well. Yeaman sitting in fourth, got a great restart there on Bowden as well. He should be able to slipstream him and maybe have a shot down towards one. So we're on board with Yeaman now. There is Rob Bowden on the inside. Disappearing was Jack Mara, so he's hasn't got the best connection tonight. Which way is Daniel Yeaman going to go here? Will he go to the right? Will he try and hang down low? They've got to stay above that white line. They don't want to cross that. They're getting a great draft here off Roberts as well. Now he goes to the outside. Into the braking zone he goes. Rob Bowden will be down the inside. He tries to hang it on the outside, which becomes the inside. That was game on cold tyres. Roberts relegated back to second now. Mara continues to disappear. We know he's racing from New Zealand, so I wonder if he's just got a bit of a low ping tonight. That'll be a little bit concerning to the drivers around him. The last thing they want to do is make contact with a car that's there 1 minute and gone the next. Good restart though, wasn't it? To see these four competitors challenging. And look at Yeaman around the outside. Can he get some traction out there and drive off the corner? He does. He gets a good run now on Roberts as well. Gets a good slipstream, which gets him up into P3. So Daniel Yeaman, once again, looking on form tonight. Can he have some good luck and wriggle his way towards the front? Jack Mara still leads. Roberts, Yeaman, now Bowden, Sinisi joining this party now as well in the background. He's up into fifth. Guy Leach runs sixth. Then it's Millington. Hayden's currently seventh place. Kurt Camilleri made up 10 spots into the top 8 now with Brad Wooten behind him. Brad, another driver we've seen in the Roadster Rumble. Geez, having a good run in the F3 car now in this top tier league. P9 up 10 positions. New fastest lap for Leach. He is on fire as we go 3 wide again. You can see the little shuffle there with the car in the middle of Wooten. He had to move across to the right. Then he almost collected Will Ryan, I think it was, to his right. And here comes another car. Tiago, is it? Up around the outside. He says, I want to be a part of this action. I'm going to go along with you here for the ride. And then he just backs out early so he doesn't become a statistic of turn 1. Now we've seen a lot of that tonight. Tiago looking quick, isn't he? He dropped a few positions off the start. He's now trying to recover, looking to the inside again. Kanitska is calling out to race control. And I think Barton might be another car involved in that. I can see dropping down the order is, oh, we got a car off the track. It's Hardy, I think. There's Hardy. Oh, and puts it in the fence. So, oh, Benjamin Roberts has gone around as well. So Roberts has made a mistake on the infield section. Now he is going to drop out of the top 15. The 0-1 last times champion falls down now out of the top 15 with that little error as well. Leach puts in another fastest lap of the race, so he's looking really good. Jack Mara leads from Daniel Yeaman now. See if we can find that spin for Roberts. Was there another car involved? I didn't see him make any noise on race control, so here it was. I presume down into turn 1. No, it's a different part of the racetrack. He was dropping back. He had a look to the inside, and he's just going to snatch it, is he? Yeah, he had to grab the brake there, and he just lights it up on the exit of the corner. So another little clumsy mistake. We've seen a lot of that tonight. These tyres obviously not switching on and creating dramas for the drivers.
In turn 2. Thank you.
Back live though, Yeaman trying to get into the lead of this race. Mara still leads. Bowden was having a good look on the outside. 20-second penalty there for Jesse Butler, causing an incident on lap 1.
349, you receive a 20-second.
Guy Leach is spinning in the background. That's Leach that's gone around. So got on the throttle there. He maybe got out on the grass slightly, but now he is well and truly on the grass. And also now drops out of the top 15. How quickly do you drop down the order when you make a mistake? Christian Hermansen will also get a penalty there, 22nd, causing an incident on lap 1. So race control dialing and dishing out the penalties as they're deserved. The opening part of this race. Long way to go. We're only 8 minutes into this 50-minute race tonight, and Jack Mara leads.
4-1, you receive a 20-second penalty for causing an incident.
Russo Gorman also 20-second penalty, incident lap 1. As now Daniel Yeaman takes the lead of this race for the first time, and gee whiz, he's been racing well, and let's see if he can pull away now. We saw in the first race the leader could pull away in clear air, and great run onto the pit straight here as he hangs down low. Daniel Yeaman pulls out a half a second lead, and well, can he just get away here and break this toe? You can see Bowden here also challenging. Good to see Sinisi. He's been really quick as well throughout this season. Now he's on the back of this top three, and look at them reeling Yeaman in. That 0.5 of a second lead went down to nothing in the space of the pit straight. In fact, Yeaman, wow, that was close. So we've got a car requesting a tow here. 39, is it? Car 39 is Kieran Ellis. And he's broken down, unfortunately. And not going anywhere, Kieran. So he's in a bit of trouble there. Oh, he's not happy at all. So Kieran is out of this race with a breakdown, unfortunately. And the steering wheel has been given the treatment, and he's gone. So unfortunately, we'll try and find out what happened to him, because he was not happy at all with that.
Go ahead, 979.
Here's a replay. In fact, we'll go back one more, because I think
Copy.
we'll see if there was an earlier incident than we had. Just going slowly. Sounds like it's stuck in gear. I wonder if that's not a technical issue with his steering wheel. The fact that he threw the steering wheel down, I wonder if he hasn't got some sort of tech issue, because there doesn't look to be any contact prior to that. And it was just coming out of the pits that he's had that incident. So disappointing for Ellis tonight. He'll bounce back next week, but he'll be disappointed with that and out of the race for tonight. Under attack at the lead of this race, it is Daniel Yeaman. Jack Mayer having a look. And Sinisi now moves up into third as well. Rob Bowden relegated to fourth. Hayden Millington, fifth place now. And it's Wooten, Ryan, Blackburn, Newton, Camilleri, Patrill up into 11th. Nick's doing well tonight, up 21 positions. Here is Nick Patrell after Dark Sim Racing, all over the back at the moment of Kurt Camilleri. Will jump on board with him and ride the Lightning for a moment. Let's have a listen. Good pass there by Roberts, but then contact. That's Wazell going through. Has just broken the front suspension of Batrill's car. And wow, we were on board at the time. He got a hit from behind, and then there was a secondary impact there as well. So we'll listen for the call to race control. I'll be interested to hear what he says on this one.
225, lap 7 towards the end of the lap in that last complex.
Let's have a look at that.
Yeah, we got you, copy.
So I have to just roll it back a little bit from there, because like I said, we're on board. Now, where was the first point of contact? He got mugged on the way through, so we saw Roberts go through. Then he gets clipped there by one of the cave cars, and Wazell just clips the front end of him as he goes sweeping through, and that was enough to break the front suspension and put Nick out of this race. So unfortunate for him. He'll get back out there with the fast repair, but it's cost him a lot of time. Unfortunately, we're back live. Yeaman still leading this race by half a second. Jack Mara in tow. Rob Bowden further back. Millington now slots up into fourth, and Sinisi, Will Ryan gets up into the top 6 now with Brad Wooten behind him. Tyler Blackburn sitting in P8 now with Alex Newton behind, and then Benjamin Roberts, who we saw racing through, gets himself back into a top 10 place. Someone trying to work their way back into this. Chris Mitchell. It's a long, long way back after what happened at the start with that broken front suspension. He hasn't given up though, P20, and he has stopped. So, ooh, that was close, wasn't it? With Jesse Butler in front. So considering the fact that he stopped for fuel, Mitchell should be right to the end of this race. If we get another safety car, he'll be right back in this battle. So the top 9 drivers have not stopped. Chris Wazell, who's currently sitting in 10th place, stopped on lap 1 to take on 3.9 seconds worth of fuel. So Mitchell, I wouldn't count him out of this race just yet. We often see things turn and change very quickly in F3A Gold. And there's no way we're getting to the end of this race without at least one more safety car. That's for sure. Here's your race leader, still in front by 0.3 of a second, Daniel Yeaman.
Race control, I'm out of the race to finish. Do I have permission to leave? Pretty late in the game.
Yeah, mate, no problem. If you stick around, you get points though, but up to you, mate.
I shall stick around. I don't need sleep.
Twist that rubber arm.
Brian Cooper for Tanked SRT, back currently 23rd position. Justin Quinn on his tail. Then you've got a good little battle between Tyson Broad, Dylan O'Shea, Reese Clayton, the 3 of them all together. And Chris Barnes for Tanked SRT, Alex Court, who's further back, and then Christian Hermanson rounds out your top 30. A long way back at this stage, 52 seconds from the race lead. Benny Roberts is now ahead of Wazell. He's still 10th place. In fact, Chris Wazell looks like he's got a bit of speed in that car as well. 11th place for Pulse Racing Team. Sponsored by Century Batteries. And he's all charged up and challenging now. Roberts, Camilleri is the next one behind them, about a second back. And that infill section looks fast and fun, doesn't it? The way they sweep through the left-hander. And your race leader continues to be well out in front. 0.5 of a second clear. Doesn't seem very phased by the Jack Mara's DSR car that's flashing in and out of his mirrors as we hit the 16-minute mark of the race.
Got you, thank you.
Anthony Jewell has just called an incident through to race control. Still running well in 35th, so it hasn't hampered his ability to drive the car. It must have just come together with someone quickly there. Worth noting for race control. There's Yeaman continuing on his merry way. We'll go to the drone camera and have a look. Good shot of him as we go down the pit straight and around the banking. And look at, that's a good angle to show how quickly they catch up in the tow. And Jack Mara may not want to lead this race. He's probably happy just to sit there in P2, saving fuel all the while he does that. They turn into the infield. I wonder if Daniel Yeaman considers maybe just letting him through and doing a bit of that fuel saving himself, because at this stage it's costing him, being the car pushing the hole through the air. There's that left-hander I was talking about, that double left-hander where you sweep around. That looks fun. And hard on the gas again, Jack just shadowing everything that Daniel does at this moment. Through the little kink. And hard on the brakes. So the 25 car, Mara, looking good, isn't he? There's Daniel Yeaman, Drop Bear Motorsport, Beyond Blue. They raise money for Beyond Blue, this team. It's a fantastic initiative that they've taken on board in their sim racing paddock, and it's great to see them doing that, and always promoting mental health in an industry of people that quite often, lock themselves in their room, do a lot on sim racing, and quite often need a little bit of help as well and won't reach out. So it's great to see that these guys are encouraging them to reach out. If you've got issues and you want to talk to someone about those issues or feelings or loneliness, make sure you do reach out, as now Jack Mara does challenge for the lead of this race. Goes up around the outside. He'll get a few marbles up there if he's not careful. And the marbles are real in iRacing, believe me. First time I ever did a NASCAR race in iRacing, I couldn't believe how slippery it was when you got up the top there. Easy to stick it in the fence. And then Bowden in the background. 1.4 seconds off the lead for Rob. He'll just be biding his time as well. He's a good strategist, Rob. And I wouldn't think for a second he won't be there at the end challenging for a win. Right now, he's just staying within that 1.4 second buffer. And Sinisi a little bit further back, 2.8 off the lead. Also in striking distance. They've dropped Hayden Millington now, who's back further. He's now 5 seconds off the lead. Great livery on that car. It's nice and clean. And then you've got this little battle pack, Will Ryan, Wooten, Blackburn, who are pretty close together. There's the Deadhead Worm Paints Pace Syndicate livery, always standing out. Behind him, Brad Wooten in the Red Bull car. 114, 7th place, yet to stop. And then Tyler Blackburn, who we all know is a good racer. He's currently just sitting behind that little pack as he comes back onto the oval and starts to chase down. In the tow once again, Rob Bowden, new fastest lap of the race, 127.8. Oh, that was slowing down in a big way there for Brad Wooten. Maybe he didn't want to lead. He wanted to drop back to 8th. I'm not sure. That was quite a... Unless he had a slowdown penalty there. Big lift of the gas, though, on the pit straight. Back with your race leader out in front. 20 minutes gone. Don't forget tonight's code word, it's Hollywood. If you want to enter that VRS competition to win a $99 US package, definitely worth getting involved. All you got to do is click the link in the description, enter the code word Hollywood, and you'll go into the running. We do a spinny wheel draw at the end of this season and pick a winner. It's always a lot of fun.
Car 147 to race control, my lap 13.
Alex Court
Copy 147.
calling out to race control there. Wonder what that's about. He passed Tyson Broad on that lap. I didn't see any issue with that. He passed Dylan O'Shea as well. Hermanson's crashed by the looks of things. Where is Hermanson? Oh, that's a spinner. Was it? No, it wasn't. It was his teammate. As Mara goes back into the lead, Hermanson went around, has recovered. It was it Tyson Broad that went around there? There was definitely one of the Drop Air Motorsport cars facing the wrong way. Gave me a heart attack there. I thought it was Daniel Yeaman for a second, as now Bowden gets beyond Yeaman as well. Maybe Daniel's now decided, look, I've led enough of this race. I need to start saving some fuel. Jack Marinell leads and he goes on the grass there, Daniel. That was a wild ride as Bowden goes for an overtake. Rob Bowden now has switched on his afterburners. He's chasing down this drop air car. Let's jump on board with him. So it was real deep in there. You could see Sinisi. You could hear the engine from Sinisi's car before we could actually see him. That's why I spun the camera around. And he was right behind Bowden, ready to strike, but Bowden got it together eventually.
Race control, car 13, turn 3.
Mabry's backwards, keeps it running. Where's Newton in all that? Because he's the one calling out to race control. Alex Newton's
control, car 11.
the road. Mabry's now saying he was the one taken out. So
Copy 11.
have a quick look at that and see if we can adjudicate who was at the wrong in that little incident. Here's a replay. We're looking at Mabry now. There's not many cars around him. Just down the inside, is it, from the RaceKraft car? Yeah, and he does get taken out, so he will have a something to answer, I think, that RaceKraft car. That little mistake. Meanwhile, Jack Mara leads us onto the pit straight. We'll go back to live. He's leading this race now by 1.8 seconds.
Car 82, lap 14.
Mitchell doesn't sound happy, and I think he's in a bit of trouble there.
Thank you.
Is he back in the pits? He is back in the pits, so it's gone from bad to worse, unfortunately, for Christopher Mitchell tonight. Has had a run of bad luck. You can see the incident with him, but yeah, he's now back in the lane to get some damage repaired. Dylan O'Shea's crashed out too. So we're getting to that point of the race now, 23 minutes in. Concentration levels are dropping slightly, and we're seeing some errors occur. It's also getting a little bit darker here as well. As we jump on board, you'll see what I mean. Sun's setting, you've got that glare, that sun hitting you right in the eyes as you're about to turn back onto this embankment section. Is that playing havoc with some of the drivers and their concentration levels? It is 9:30 Eastern Daylight Saving Time for a lot of them. Later for the Kiwis, I got to say, it'd be what, 11:30 for them, 12:30, late at night. Good commitment to be racing in this series. Jack Mara currently leading for DSR out in front. Some Shaka Changi chips. Snacka Changi, I think is how you pronounce it. Snacka Changi. To get some of those. Chomp away on while I'm commentating. Tyler Blackburn fighting with Chris Wazell. We haven't heard any more action from the contact Chris Wazell had. And goes past Tyler Blackburn there. Good overtake. P8. Next person up the road for him, Ben Roberts, who's on a recovery drive after an unforced error earlier in the race. Spun the car around. Dropped all the way back to 7th, our pole sit-up. He's now chasing down Will Ryan here, trying to find a way through. Goes to the outside. He should be able to do a switchback here on Ryan. Oh, Ryan block pass. Oh, sorry, just a block out of the corner. Made sure he chopped off any sort of switcheroo for Roberts, but I think it won't be too long before Roberts gets through here. He's definitely got more pace than Ryan. Now he tries the same move once again, but this time through the S's. What's the exit like? The car moving around in front for Will Ryan. Surely you'll get him down the pit straight if nothing else. Here's the run onto the pit straight now. Early shift just to dull the wheel spin. New fastest lap for Rob Bowden as well. And Roberts pulls out of the slipstream, and here we go. So jumps to the outside and through the big sweeping left-hander. Still, he hasn't got past. I thought he would have had the speed. Jumps back in behind now, down towards the first turn in. He'll sweep back to the inside and he'll try and cut down, move himself up into 6th, which he does. Job done. Roberts now P6 in this race. Still a long way to go. We're at the halfway point now. 24 minutes to go in the race. Can Roberts still get himself onto a podium? Rob Bowden at the moment is setting down lightning lap times. A 1 minute 27.68. Last time around was about 4/10 clear of Daniel Yeaman, and about 4/10 quicker than the race leader as well. So further back in the pack, Bailey Evans is fighting here with Jesse Butler and Marcus Knitska. Big send there from, was that Knitska? Oh, big wobble as well. He get it under control, Marcus, which he does eventually. That was a good send. He got himself right up behind Butler. And oh, that was almost contact on the brakes as well from Bailey Evans. You can see Adam Gardner in the background as well, and Guy Leach trying to recover some positions. So Guy Leach into 17th. Great exit from the 24 car there, Bailey Evans. He's swarming all over the back of Knitska here. Wants to try and find a way through as soon as possible. There he is. Bit of a wobble again from Knitska on the mid part of the corner.
I'm making mine up whether it's going above or below the edge of the oval here.
Here we go. Alongside, Bailey Evans goes for the overtake. We knew it was coming. Down the inside he goes, and a new fastest lap of the Ray for Bowden.
I should have turned HDR off. It's making the run onto the oval very, very difficult.
Trying to hear what the chatter about is at the front. It's to do with when they go below the line, I think, how rough it is.
Squint your way to victory, baby. Squint your way to victory.
That's how race control is saying. I think what it is, it's making their eyes blurry because it's so bumpy. I think that's what it is. down through the underneath part of the white line on the pit straight. Tiago battling here with Camilleri, chops the nose off him, says thank you very much, 11th place. Good overtake, Will Ryan at this stage as well. Still engaged here with Tyler Blackburn for P7. So we're almost at the 30-minute mark now, 20 to go. We'll probably see a lot of these drivers come into the pits. Either one, if we get a safety car, or two, if their fuel runs dry. So Bowden, the quickest driver out there, has now got himself within 5/10 of the race leader. He is looking really good tonight. He's dropped Yeaman by a 1.5 seconds as well now. So the Tank SRT driver could be on for a victory, especially coming to this new circuit. Like I said, it's a big leveler tonight. Not a lot of these drivers would have seen this racetrack or had a crack at it. Tonight they're having their first go, and the cream's rising to the top. Camilleri and Tiago at it again. He's not done, is he? Tiago on the inside. This is going to be real tight. He leaves him space. Good racing. So good respect there shown by both drivers. That's what we want to see. We want to see wheel-to-wheel racing without the contact, and generally they do deliver that in this gold F3A server. Rob Bowden, P2. I've got to say, I'm a fan of this track as Nikolov's gone off the track. Try and regather that up. There's a big lose down there. But I am a big fan of this one. I'm not generally a fan of Rovals, but this to me is more exciting than Charlotte or Daytona. It's just got something about it. This infield section is very cool, the way it's set up. So good to see. Well done, Roo, for coming to this place and not leaving it out. Very good job. So the gap back out to 7/10 after it came right down for a moment there. Rob Bowden still has a bit of work to do tonight. 31.5 minutes in. The top 12 yet to stop. Nikolov's in the pits after that spin, so he's decided it's time to take service. And we'll give a bit of a shout out to some of these drivers back in the field now. There's Trevor Leonard back in 22nd place, Tyson Broad behind him, drop there, and then it's Alex Newton, Christian Hermanson and Marcus Knitska. The next couple of drivers down in 26th place, then Dylan O'Shea 27th. Reese Clayton runs in 28th with Nick Bottrell and Leif Hardy rounding out your top 30 this stage of the race. Mabry, Jewell, Raja, Arthur, unfortunately Christopher Mitchell, I think, out of this race. Wooten's out as well, and Anspach, O'Gorman, Barton and Ellis all out of the race early on tonight, so that's unfortunate that we're not seeing them out there battling away. Camilleri off, was having that big battle with Tiago. I wonder if they've come together. Let's have a quick look at a replay on that, because Tiago's gone through. There's been no comment to race control yet, so, but here's the replay. Tiago has a look from behind, swings in, dives towards the inside, and locked brake there it was for Camilleri, so he's exited stage left all by himself. New fastest lap of the race, Benjamin Roberts now. Hello, hello. This old dog's not done yet. Here he comes. The 0-1 reigning champion of F3A. Now 9.6 seconds off the lead. New fastest lap was a 1:27.42 with still 26 or so minutes to go in the race. So still, 17 minutes to go in the race. So still enough time for Roberts to sneak along and make something of this. He was 4/10 quicker than everyone on the previous lap. He was almost a second quicker than Sinisi in P4. So he's reeling him in quickly. 5 seconds still up the road, but Roberts will get there. You can always put a bet or two on this man at being towards the front at the end of a race. Dave Roberts pointing out from his hospital bed that the sun is setting in the eyes out of the last corner. Yeah, that's got to be difficult. There is a look on board. In fact, it has set now, Dave. It's actually gone over the crest of the hill now. So the sun is set. We wish Dave all our love that he gets out of that hospital bed back with us ASAP. Some good racing tonight. This has been enjoyable. Like I said, I don't get super excited about Rovals. When I saw this track tonight that I had to go and buy it, I was like, oh, here we go. And well, they've turned on a good race. And let's be honest, they always do. You never have a bad night with F3A. Ever since day dot. In fact, I should go and work out how many broadcasts we've done with Rue and the crew. It's been a fair few now, with Marcus Kanitzka fighting his way back through the field on the back of Alex Newton and Hermanson here. This is for 20th place. We heard earlier that Rue said to, I think it was O'Gorman who wanted to eject and finish up for the night. He said, no, hang in there because you still score some points if you hang around to the end. So that's a good little incentive as well to keep drivers not just bugging out and when they've finished the race, go home. It's good to have them still there and talk to their friends. Oh, that cone got a little bit of an excursion there. Left on the racetrack. We love you, Race Stars TV. There you go. There's a. We'll give this cone to Rue Koistra if it can ever focus up. Come on. It's not going to focus, is it? Oh, there we go. Almost got focused. There it is. There's one race cone. Now on the exit of the final corner. So we see him quite often. So we just manually use the camera here. There are the cones I'm talking about. We see them quite often get collected and bowled out onto the racetrack. I don't think they do damage. If someone can back me up on that, I don't think it will do damage to your car. There is damage model in some of the cars on iRacing where parts will do damage, but I don't think those cones do. Jack Mara's in the pits, so is Millington, so is Will Ryan, Tiago and Jesse, all in the pit lane now. Bowden leads 2.5 seconds. So 35, nearly 36 minutes in, lap 24. A lot of these drivers have now pulled the pin and they're jumping in for fuel. Benjamin Roberts stayed out, so did Blackburn, McLaughlin. Bailey Evans is the first driver that stopped, but he stopped on lap 1. So did Adam Gardner. And so did, oh, Spinner, the race leader's just gone around. That's a big mistake there for Rob Bowden. Got excited on the gas and around he goes. Now Daniel Yeaman leads. How quickly does the tide change here in F3A? Wow. So Yeaman with a lap car of Clayton just in front, needs to try and clear him. I presume this will be an in-lap for Daniel Yeaman. We'll see him stay left here and head towards the pit lane, which he does. Get down onto that limiter as quickly as possible and then start to trundle his way down the pits. So Yeaman in, Sinisi and Roberts and Bowden both into the pit lane. Let's see if Tyler comes in as well. He does. We'll see McLaughlin, no doubt, into the pits from 6th place. And a little bit of a lull as all the top competitors come in for fuel. Bailey Evans, will he stay out and cross the line? No, he's in as well. Guy Leach, I presume, will also come in. Top 8 into the pits. Adam Gardner will stay out and will lead this race. Adam Gardner stopped on lap 1, took 4.6 seconds worth of fuel, and with just on 12.5 minutes to go, he'll go through to lead this race with Brian Cooper in tow. So it's Mark 1 Esports leads Tanked SRT. Chris Wazell heading down the pit lane as well. Yeaman's just come out in P3. Wazell should come out around 5th or 6th. Comes out in 5th, just goes past Bowden and Sinisi on the exit of the pit lane. So there you go, and Jack Mara shoots through as well. Remember, he stopped a lap earlier. Jack's actually dropped back. It was a slow stop for Jack. It was 11.3 seconds in the pit lane. So he's lost about 3.5 seconds to Daniel Yeaman, who's currently 3rd place in that long stop. So it was 11.3 seconds stationary for Jack Mara compared to 5.05 for Daniel Yeaman. Gardner 4.6 on lap 1. I'm not sure he'll have enough fuel to the end with the starting fuel limit and how much they can put in the tank. That will be interesting with 11.5 to go, but at the moment looking good. Cooper as well. Tanked SRT currently on for P2. He's up 31 positions. at the moment, so looking good for the 3.44. And then it's Yeaman, then it's Wazell, who stopped on lap 1 as well, and Adam Gardner's in the pits. So that just goes to show these drivers that stopped lap 1, Wazell being one of them, is going to need to come into the pits and take some fuel on board.
Copy 55.
Brad Wooten says, great track to drive on. Good drive tonight, man. Hard luck. As Yeaman crosses now in the lead by 3.4 seconds. In control. We haven't had that second or third safety car we predicted. There's Jack Mara. P2, Rob Bowden. Did he cut the corner there? Surely that's a slowdown if he cut that corner. We picked it up just as we transitioned across to that camera. It looked like he'd gone straight through the cones, but he's got away with it. Bowden gets the power down without losing the rear end that time. And we'll jump on board as he tries to close the margin to Mara. So with 9 to go, Daniel Yeaman leads this one 3.1 seconds. Here's the pit strategy for the top drivers. You can see Leonard P5 stopped lap 4. So Trevor Leonard for RaceKraft Gold. He's 3.9 seconds worth of fuel. I'm not sure that's enough to get to the end. But there he is, currently leading the RaceKraft Gold drivers. But he's the only one on that alternate strategy coming in at that first safety car. Can he sneak it home and get himself a podium tonight? He's still got to deal with Sinisi, who's a second up the road, and Rob Bowden 2 seconds up the road. He has got a buffer to Hayden Millington though, 5 seconds behind. So a bit of breathing space there. Then Tyler Blackburn is a couple of seconds behind him, up 18 spots. Will Ryan still well within inside the top 10, doing well in 8th position, and Hugh McLaughlin 27 spots up into 9th tonight for this fantastic outfit here. So let's see what they can do. The Tiago's 10th as well for RaceKraft. Hugh, one of the Pace Syndicate drivers, having a really good run. Knitzger's teammate further back, 15th place. Still can't catch Alex Newton for RaceKraft, so he's just up the road from him. And as we enter the final part of the race now, Rob Bowden has just gone through on Jack Mara. So, like I said, that pit stop for Jack has really cost him 11 seconds stationary compared to Bowden, 4.7. 5 seconds for the race leader. He was stationary in the pits. Did he put enough fuel in? That's the big question that will be lingering. He's not a man that makes a lot of mistakes, Daniel Yeaman. Pretty precise with his figures, and I reckon he's probably got the fuel number right here. And if so, he's looking very comfortable. 3.5 seconds now the lead. As Benjamin Roberts comes out and does a new fastest lap of the race. He's 15 seconds stationary. I think it's stopped for tyres. Does a 27.3, but he's put himself way out of contention, unfortunately, with that stop. Drops all the way back outside the top 20. 24th to be precise for the number 1. And Trevor Lennon's in the pits, so unfortunately he's not going to make it home after stopping on lap 4. So obviously a lot of fuel being burnt at this racetrack, high fuel burn, a lot of full throttle. And that's a bit costly for him. Having a quick look over at the race control stewards channel. I think, are they going to let me see what's going on over there? I don't think I can see tonight. Show all participants. Let's see if we can just load up some of their streams. So this is what's being viewed at the moment in race control with Rue Koistra. That's Rue Koistra's view of all the proceedings that's going on. As you can see, 5 to go, and some cool telemetry. Oh, he's watching a smash there, and there you go. So there's been a smash. He's watching a replay of that now. That's trying to read the name on his screen, but he's just replaying that crash there. So interesting. That's a little view just to show you what goes on in the race control room. We thought we'd let you see a bit of that. But we're counting down the time now. It's 5 to go. Looking comfortable out in front. The gap's come down slightly. Dave Roberts wants to know what happened to Benny Roberts. We'll see if we can pick up if he had a spin or a crash. Came into the pits on lap 26, which seems to be an unscheduled pit stop for Roberts. And as far as I can tell, there was no crash. So just scrolling back up now to see, no, definitely nothing. So yeah, it's an odd unscheduled pit stop, unless he didn't get the right amount of fuel in the first time around. Unfortunately for Ben, it's going to be a 20th at best tonight, and he's currently 21st behind Chris Wazell, who's 3.4 seconds up the road with about 3 laps to go. Not sure he's going to be able to approach on him too much there. Jack Mara's having a great fight here with Rob Bowden, though. This is for 2nd and 3rd on the podium. They're not going to catch Yeaman. He's opened the gap back out to 3.3, but Rob Bowden is absolutely set on getting P2 tonight, and Jack Mara, he's got his work cut out for him. This is a good ding-dong between these two. So he's just biding his time there. You can hear the throttle work, just backing out of the throttle, waiting for the right moment. He wants to trail onto the embankment and then pass him, obviously, down the pit straight. So he's got a good exit there. You can just tuck in behind now, get some slipstream, and try and run this through in P2. So they're hanging down low here. This is what I've been told is really bumpy. Let's listen on board. So you can hear the car bottoming out there. Butler's come together, I think, with someone out there. They're a bit of chit chat. Every time I see Bowden accelerator there, I think about him looping the car around. He wants to try and keep it together here, at least keep that 3rd place, if not better, because Sinisi is ready to pounce if something goes wrong in front. We'll get 2 more laps, judging by the time. I would say possibly an extra lap here is Speed. Bowden once again attacking, not getting through. May try the switch back here. Does Mara keep it nice and tight? He does. The back end almost gets away from Bowden. He's had that trouble all night tonight. It is so loose as the track temp drops as well. You can see Newton out there now fighting with Guy Leach for 12th place. Adam Gardner's also on the back of that, also getting onto the fringes of the top 10. Generally, they'll get a blanket tow approval now till the end, so any more crashes should not bring out a safety car, and we didn't get the amount of cautions I expected tonight. So Daniel Yeaman, 3.7 seconds, flawless drive, counting down the laps now. I think we're going to get 2 more laps. We are. Crossed the line with just over 2 minutes to go, so 2 more laps in the race. That gives Bowden a bit more time, although saying that, Sinisi's got through now up into 3rd place. Our timing screen just got a little bit mumble-jumbled by Jack Mara's disappearance, and he's reappeared again. We've got a crash car, Cooper, off the track. Brian Cooper comes back on ahead of Wazell after that little mistake. And Chris Barnes. We haven't talked about Chris too much tonight, but he's sitting there in 20th place now for Tanked SRT, the number 74 car, ahead of our reigning champ Ben Roberts, 21st, who has had a night he'd probably rather forget. Alex Newton, wheel to wheel with Adam Gardner for 12th place, 22 places up the road. Alex Newton, great drive by him tonight, and just trying to deal with the weaving Adam Gardner here, holding on to his position at this stage. As I watch the timing screen to see where Daniel Yeaman's at, he's coming around onto the pit straight for what will be the final time, or the second last time I should say. We get the white flag. It's 49 minutes and 20 seconds now, so 1 lap to go after this one as he crosses the stripe with 40 seconds remaining. So final lap of the race, white flag drops, and comfortably 3.4 seconds out in front, should be able to walk home from there. So Drop Bear Motorsport, as I've said earlier in the broadcast, they're supporting Beyond Blue, hence why they're a blue car now. And great initiative by this team to jump on and raise some awareness, mental health issues and support that's out there. So well done Daniel Yeaman and the team from Drop Bear. They're about to notch up another win for what is a very experienced team in iRacing. And Daniel himself does a stack of commentating on SimSpeed. He's the voice you hear most of the time if you turn on SimSpeed and have a listen, he'll be Daniel Yeaman. And he's come out tonight to show that he can still drive just as well as he can talk, this bloke. And he's going to bring it onto the pit straight here and take a well-deserved victory. Had to work hard for it at the initial part of the race, but makes it look easy in the end. Takes a win, slows it down at the line. He's not out of fuel, is he? He's just taking it easy. Crosses the line there. Well done, Daniel Yeaman. Rob Bowden comes across the line in P2. Jack Mara gets third. And Sinisi, well-deserved fourth as well, ahead of Millington, who will take fifth place tonight. Tyler Blackburn will get sixth. Will Ryan, seventh. McLaughlin, eighth. And Tiago Bailey Evans will round out your top 10. So good driving by all. We'll wrap it up shortly. We'll go and talk to some drivers, get some of their thoughts. But we'll talk to the top three, Daniel Yeaman, Bowden and Mara, shortly. How good was that? Daniel Yeaman, Drop Bear Motorsport, takes the win tonight here, live from Fontana. Race results coming up on the screen now. Thanks to iRacing, Daniel Yeaman wins that one by 2.3 seconds in the end over Rob Bowden and Jack Murray, top three. We're going to bring them in for a bit of a chat and wrap it all up here. But it's a Drop Bear Motorsport win tonight from Tanked SRT, and DSR takes out P3. Well deserved, and some top racing there as well. Hopefully you enjoyed that one. And we'll be back again next week, same time, same place, to do it all again on Race Stars TV. But let's go and see if we can talk to some drivers. We're just waiting for them to show up. As I always end up just waiting and waiting. I'm a patient man. Here's Rob Bowden. We'll talk to Rob in a second, but we're just waiting on Daniel Yeaman, and we've got our second and our third place in and some good racing. Once Daniel's here, we'll get the interviews underway as we watch a slow-mo replay of that cool-down lap from Daniel. But Drop Bear Motorsport coming through in the end, up 3 positions. It was Rob Bowden P2 who held his spot and finished second, and then of course the other one was Jack, who started third, finished third. But Daniel, congratulations, mate, on a good run tonight. You had to work hard for the first part of the race, but the second part you made look pretty easy.
Thanks there, Luke. And well, yeah, you're not wrong. Start initially we felt pretty good, as it turned out, and able to really fight there with Rob, Jack, and Benny in the opening couple of laps, and then sort of settle into a rhythm there. But yeah, I had HDR graphics turned on tonight, which is something I just do. And what it actually meant was coming around the third sector here on the infield, the sun kept coming up, going above and below the horizon, just back and forth. So what happened was, yeah, just multiple times through those last couple of turns, was really struggling to pick my markers. And so, yeah, just lost time to Rob and Jack. And also, it's not off-track penalties out there with those cones in the final couple of turns. It's actually really harsh slowdown penalties. So that's what we were doing, running up against the outside wall down the front stretch. Actually, I think, well, at least I was clearing slowdowns, and I get the feeling a couple of other guys might have been doing the same during the race, because it felt like the tolerances were really tight a couple of times. And I mean, yeah, look, second part of the stint, I looked over, I saw Jack had somehow taken a longer than usual pit stop, and then Rob spun in front of me, and it kind of felt like it fell into my lap, and then just had to tick the boxes from there. And look, certainly really happy to have ticked the boxes and done the job, but certainly kind of fell my way with a bit of good fortune.
Yeah.
More so than raw skill and speed tonight.
Very modest, man. But Rob, tell us about that spin, mate, because it was a pivotal moment in the race where it just looked like you jumped on the gas and it went around on you. And what could you have done different?
Maybe not push so hard. I saw Jack pitted, and I was like, oh, I've got to push hard, like to try and undercut him and get ahead. Hopefully get ahead by like that 0.6 of a second just to get out of the draft. And I knew I was probably one of the fastest guys in the top bunch. I was just keeping a steady pace. That start was insane. Like, we were too wide through the first chicane, nearly the first 3 or 4 laps. It was crazy. I just tried to get out of it. Like, I just didn't want a bar of it. And then I think a couple of us got a slowdown penalty in the middle there and really split the pack, and then I started doing fast lap. I'm like, I've got good speed here. And then, yeah, once Jack pulled out in front of me and to jump into the pits, I thought, now I've got to go try to get 0.6 in the pits, and I just pushed too hard, and I lit up the rears and spun, and I thought, oh, come on, there goes the podium. But here we are. I think it was just a matter of the person that limited their mistakes tonight did pretty good. So
yeah, great racing. Always good to watch you guys. There was some good clean battles, and you know, little mistakes aside, entertaining, and that's what we're here for. So thank you. Jack, P3, well done, mate. Must be late for you tonight, and you've done really well. Long pit stop. What was the go there?
Man, yeah, the pit stop, I think I hit too many cones. One lap, my crew chief come on and he said, oh, mate, you got a bit of wing damage. So I thought, oh, that's a bit of a bummer, and I forgot to tick the fast repair. So
it's a lesson for the kids out there, mate. Don't hit too many cones. It will always cost you an end.
Exactly.
But well done, mate. P3. Good to see DSR up there again, and just some mega battles. Love watching this. We're just watching a replay of the start now where, you know, you had Rob behind you, Daniel as well. Ben was starting to clear off into the distance, and you just had to fight the whole time watching your mirrors, and they were always there like a couple of little pit bull terriers nipping at your heels.
Yeah, I was sitting on the grid, and I thought, you know, I need to make up some points in the championship. So I thought, you know, we'll get punchy on the first lap. The first couple of laps turned out, and it was definitely pretty hairy.
So good to watch. Right, let's do some thank yous, starting with our race winner tonight. Daniel, who would you like to thank, mate, for a fantastic victory?
Once again, to the boys at Drop Bear Motorsport. Had Tyson out here on track with me tonight. Unfortunately, a rough one for him. But to him and everyone in the team, big thanks for being part of it. To the team partners in Coasty Engineering Solutions, Sam Blacklock Media, Hybrid Racing Simulations, and Revolution Race Gear. As always, great to have them on the car and make that 2 from 2 for this year and season 11 for Beyond Blue. So that's another one to add to the tally with our fundraising campaign we've still got going on there. otherwise, yeah, to the FRG crew, it's good to be able to just sort of jump in and sort of just see where I'm at and have a run around here and be back in a couple of weeks' time again for the next of the Roval courses, and then from then on should be able to do the permanent road courses to the end as well. And to you as well, Luke, always thanks for being able to broadcast stuff like this, and looking forward to having a good watch back of the gold split later on tonight.
Thanks, mate. Congratulations on a fantastic win. P2, Rob, who would you like to thank, mate?
Yeah, just yourself for the broadcast, mate. I know how much effort you put in, and it's very much appreciated that you spend your nights doing these. Yeah, Roo, Ty, Lachlan, all the FRG crew, they do such a great job of making this one of the best leagues in Australia, if not the world. So it's yeah, credit to them. Who else puts up live timing during the week? But it's a lot of effort. So it's always great to watch. And all our tanked boys, we got 5 out of the 6 in tonight. So it was pretty close to getting all of us in, which is always good. Hopefully it helps for the team's championship for all of us, and obviously our tank sponsors, BA Crocs and Dirt Division, and my personal sponsors, DPO, Direct Passport Outlet, and Extreme Carts Warners Bay.
Great drive tonight. Well done, P2. And Jack, finally, P3 tonight. Who would you like to thank, mate?
Well, Snacker Championships as always. This week they've launched a new flavour.
Ooh.
Sweet chili.
Yep.
Groundbreaking, I know. They actually sent a chili task force around 36 countries. It cost them $27 million.
No way.
But they returned empty-handed, no chilies. But they found old mate up the road. He has some retired cage fighting chilies. Turns out they're pretty sweet on the chips. So big ups to those guys. On a serious note, old Roo, Lockie, and Kai, man, it's I kind of feel sorry for them because they have to go through all these steward sheets and it must take a long time. But yeah, no, they do an awesome job. And yourself as always, mate.
Thanks, mate. Cage fighting chilies, that's a new one.
It is a new one. Haven't seen them myself and I don't really want to. It sounds a bit spicy and I think I'd come off for worse.
Yeah, I reckon they get in your mouth and use that little dangly thing at the back as a punching bag.
Yeah, it's just where it starts, mate. Don't forget about the other end.
Very good, Roo. I'll throw it over to you, mate. Great racing tonight. Hey, I love the track. Had to buy it. I was being a big sook at the start. I was like, oh, God, another track I got to buy. I love this track. This is great.
It is amazing. It's
better than Charlotte. Better than Daytona, I reckon. Great infield.
Oh, this is way better than Charlotte, I reckon.
Yeah.
I'm actually still thinking about this speedball uvula that you've just proposed to Jack Murrah. Just punching that uvula in a speedball fashion.
Is that what it's called, a uvula?
Yeah, a uvula. I'm getting all technical on you there.
How the hell do you know what that's called?
Look, my mum's a nurse. So,
there you go.
I used to get into her little nursing books when I was young and look at all the really weird and disgusting stuff that I shouldn't have been looking at. But yeah, like what an awesome race. And Daniel, like he's slightly blasé, like yeah, I'll drop into this one and the next one and the next one. But I would love to see Daniel do a full season and take it to Benny because I reckon that would be an awesome head-to-head. I think Daniel's got the goods to win this outright. To be honest,
and he's another one of these blokes that just I didn't get any time to practice. I rocked up with 2 minutes to go, and here he is on the top step.
Yeah, here we go, and here he is, 2 seconds above.
I mean, if I may butt in, I mean, I did 15 laps, so I did some pre-quali, but probably, I mean, yeah, you're right, I could have done more, but let's not jump to the point. I mean, look, certainly, if time permitting, I would. I mean, currently, I'm running Aussie Online Gaming Porsche Cup on Tuesdays. That's why I'm actually here fortnightly. So next Tuesday, that's the final round of that for the season. On that night, on that Tuesday night, that's why I'll be available to do the back half full time. But look, if schedules align and things permit.
All right, Daniel, we'll talk. We'll talk about schedules. We'll swap calendars because we'd love to see Daniel race every race because it's amazing. I mean, he's taken it to Benny, he's taken it to everyone. Jack might have been up there, so higher if he wasn't hitting so many cones. But that does. I can hear his scratchy voice too, which kind of reinforces my suspicions. But I think Daniel, we'd love to have you. Nice. We'd love to have you next season and really take it to Benny and show us what you can do because we think it's pretty exciting.
Well, I am for the Motorsport Australia F3 series and getting some better fortunes there. Also, I swear he's cursed, Benny. I show up and something happens to him. because I'm pretty sure otherwise he's having a good season. But when I show up here the past 2 rounds...
So you're like the opposite of a rabbit's foot. You're like the rotting rabbit's foot.
I was going to say, once is a coincidence, twice is unfortunate. I hope it doesn't happen a third time, because I would like to race him here on track, but apparently we're not getting that. So
I think you should lower your screen and just see if you've got a voodoo doll of Benny with pins in it.
I mean, I don't think I've fashioned one up, but then again, I've got a brother who does crafty things, so maybe
there
he
you go.
for me in the background if I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, there was me thinking you were the crafty bloke.
Unfortunately, no. No, the rig is my craft.
There's a lot of craft stuff there, man. That's very cool.
Yeah, my brother's into model train, so that's what's.
Oh, hello.
Let's give this a bit of an angle.
Hey, this is where we're at. Sorry, Roo. Show's over, mate. It's now about model trains.
We're going to hijack.
I'll just sit back.
Yep, that's his craft in the rear. A shot there, plus of course the table with all the modelling stuff on there. So,
geez, that's
his
awesome.
thing. I get 10% of the room in the corner to enjoy the sim rig and my computer here.
Very cool. Well, thanks to our top 3 tonight: Daniel Yeaman, Rob Bowden, Jack, and Jack Mayer. And of course, we've got those sponsors, Roo. We've got to always give them a big shout out. Big thanks to RaceKraft. Lovely stickers, and also that VRS prize, which hopefully everyone's used tonight's code word, which is Hollywood.
You know what? And if you haven't, just go in there and click it. Even if you're a week late, type Hollywood, click that link, because I think people have dropped the ball a little bit on the VRS, and you're in a good chance of winning that 1 year sub. It's worth $99 US. What's that? A couple of grand Australian dollars? I don't know what we're doing there. A couple of million Australian dollars.
Couple barrels of oil.
Couple barrels of oil, yeah. So get in there and click that link and do the Hollywood thing. Also, lovely stickers. Anyone that's listening, anyone that's watching, F3A lovely. Just type that code word into their website and get yourself a 10% discount to pimp out your rig.
Yeah, Rue's going to have a great graphic next week for us that actually has that code word I can put up on the screen too. Just so you know.
All right, fine, I'll do it. Yeah, we'll have that up there and we'll have it rotating. I did promise you that, didn't I?
Well, there it is. We can see we got the splash screen of lovely stickers, and it's some decent looking gear. Absolutely love it.
It's amazing. Cool. Yeah. You should see Dave Roberts' man cave there. Yeah. And a big shout out to Dave at the moment, who is in hospital watching this on an iPad or some kind of device. And we love you and we miss your experience here tonight. And Godspeed. And while I'm at it, I just also want to thank Ty and Lachlan. They are the best people that I've ever had the pleasure to work with in this situation. And we ripped through a gold series steward sheet that looks like a novel. It's actually quite long. And they've ripped through it tonight, and we're really happy.
Very good, mate. Fantastic as always. I did ask Lovely Stickers if I could get some stickers for my rig, but apparently they can't fit them around my abs, so...
All right, give me measurements. I'll make that happen. Well,
boys, thanks for a great night of entertainment. As always, it's been a lot of fun, Roo, and congratulations, Daniel. Great win. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Rob, congratulations, P2 and Jack. Get that chili fighting into your mouth, mate, and produce some of the best chips in the world. Thank you.
I want to see a video. I want to see a video of Jack eating it. I think you should do some kind of YouTube video of you eating these uvula punching chilies, and we'll put that on the feed.
You know, I was down at the countdown over here, Woolies over there, and they had a big display of the Snacky Shanky chips, and I was so close to just picking it up and taking it out the door because it would look so cool. Get a webcam going, get it behind me, have a munch down the straightaways. Yeah, I reckon it'd be good.
What do you call your Woolies over there? Countdown,
mate.
That's an old show from the 70s over here.
It's still a show, isn't it? My maths isn't that good.
Maybe on your TV.
You're still getting it, yeah.
Yeah, mate. You'll get HD one day, don't worry. Thanks heaps, mate. It's been fun. We'll catch you guys next week.
Cheers, matey. Thank you.
See you, boys. Hey, because he's got a webcam and he goes to all left, give it away as a goodbye there, mate. It's like Johnny Young. Give us a goodbye.
Thanks all, and look forward to seeing it all afterwards. So, hope you enjoyed the racing.
Legends. See you, boys.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it for tonight. Thanks for tuning in, folks. F3A, a lot of fun as always. Some good jokes at the end too. Great win, Daniel Yeaman on form tonight and absolutely smoked it. We'll see you next week for round 6 of F3A. Good night.